I wanted to start off tonight by addressing the public speaker from the last meeting. For those who don't know her, her name is Dee Fogel. She's one of the founding members of the local Moms for Liberty group, a far-right political organization that has been labeled a hate and extremist group by the Southern Poverty Law Association. She's not from Morton, and she has never had children attend in Morton schools. So I sincerely hope that you all treat this outsider the exact same grace as you have shown Heather McMeekin. Now, Dee made a number of untrue claims about me. That is why she'll be receiving a cease and desist letter from my lawyer. However, she did say one thing that is very true about me, and that's the fact that I think all children, no matter what, deserve health care. And I'm not going to waver on that. And to be honest, I don't understand anyone who thinks otherwise, because they're children. And I don't care if they're black, trans, gay, or even if they're from another planet, they're still just kids. And I think they deserve access to health care. Now, I can confidently send her that legal document because I know there's no proof to her claims. I have made the board and the district well aware that unlike Dee, I don't take my public claims lightly. I investigate them until I have proof and until I have actual documentation to corroborate those claims. I'm very fortunate that many families locally have entrusted me with copies of all the reports they've made, the school's responses, a trust and a responsibility I do not take lightly. I know many of you want me to share those stories as proof that bullying is an issue, but please remember these are families who have already been victimized by the district and children who have already been retaliated against. I'm not going to be the one to make that worse for them by publicly sharing those stories. But for those looking for proof of the truth in my words, think about why I can come up here and I can confidently say these things in a publicly recorded setting without worrying about the school district suing me. It's because they know what I'm saying is true, and they know I have the paperwork to back it up. If what I was saying was false, all the district would have to do is have their lawyer send me a cease and desist letter, but they haven't, and I'm still the only dissident they have not tried to ban yet at these meetings. They know I have the emails, I have the FOIA results, and I have the court documents. So if you did sue me, I would provide that proof and countersue for frivolous lawsuit, and that would just be a waste of the taxpayers' money. Now, having said that, I want to remind all of you, you also have access to those reports. The emails between these families and the administration are FOIA-able. So don't take my word for it. Please don't. I encourage you, do your own investigation. Put some effort into it. FOIA bullying, FOIA racial slurs, look at the complaints yourself and make your own conclusions on how they're being handled. Those opposing me are going to continue to try to bring up anything they can to distract you from listening to the things I'm actually saying. They don't want you to hear the part where I show the proof that this board has known about these bullying issues for over decades and still doing nothing about it. These are meeting minutes from April 24th, 2012. Multiple parents spoke up at that meeting. It's not the only time they have, it's just the earliest I could find. They spoke about the bullying issue and asked the board for stronger anti-bullying policies. You were president at the time, Mr. Neely. You promised these parents the board was very concerned, not only about bullying, but bullying district-wide, and would be addressing the issue. It's here in the minutes. That was 12 years ago. 12 years ago. You've known about these problems, and what have you done to address it? I'm genuinely asking. I'd also like to point out that at least at that time, the board was replying to public speakers at the meeting. So later today, when you're looking at board protocols, I'd recommend revisiting your protocol of avoiding community interaction at the public speaking section of these meetings. Even something as simple as allowing public comments on recorded board meeting videos would encourage more engagement and is in the spirit of the Open Meetings Act. Because when a parent emails the principal about their child be calling a racial slur in our schools, a response of, well, perhaps you should consider switching school districts is never appropriate, but it's what's happening. And for a year now, I'm just listening to excuses and then multiple times a month getting messages from parents with stories exactly like these. Lastly, I would like the board to look at policy 2105, the ethics and gift ban, when they are going over the protocols. Earlier this year, my children and I made supportive buttons to donate to the teachers as a thank you and a welcome back to school gift. I was not allowed to distribute these buttons, and Dr. Sanders identified this policy as the reason why, that because I was running for school board, any identifiable donation from me would be considered political activity. However, multiple times since, including the last meeting, the incumbent members of this board, who are also running for office to keep their seats, have been allowed to donate food, donuts, breakfast items, etc. to the teachers, attach their names to those gifts, and that was not in violation of that. And that seems really hypocritical to me. So if that policy is going to be enforced, I think it needs to be enforced across all candidates running, not just the non-incumbent ones. And that adding clarification to this policy as to what constitutes political activity may help differentiate in these situations. So I appreciate your time today, and I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season.